The College of Sciences gets a new dean.
And the Cougar football team ends their 10-game losing streak. Tonight, those stories and more as complete coverage of the local news starts right now. Good evening, I'm Dominic Sheldon.
And I'm Megan Crenshaw. Thanks for joining us this evening.
A traffic accident in Pullman sends one woman to the hospital. Yesterday, an unidentified driver ran a red light and struck a black SUV at the intersection of Kamiakin and East Main Street. The Pullman Police Department is declining to release the names of the drivers. However, an officer did confirm at least one of the drivers is a WSU student. The passenger in the SUV was taken to Pullman Regional Hospital shortly after the accident as a precaution after reportedly experiencing neck pain. Her current condition is unknown.
A one-car rollover accident this weekend led to the arrest of one Idaho man and the hospitalization of another. Jared W. Reddick of Lewiston rolled his car near North Mountain View Road and Idler's Rest Road in Moscow just before midnight on Saturday. He was arrested at the scene for driving under the influence. Reddick's passenger was transported to Gritman Medical Center and later released.
Two Coeur d'Alene teens are dead after their car went off the road near Twin Falls, Idaho. The crash, which happened early Sunday morning, killed 19-year-old Devin Austin and 18-year-old Ryan Reinhardt, both of Coeur d'Alene. Austin was on the College of Southern Idaho's baseball team and was last year's Gatorade State Player of the Year in Idaho. According to the Twin Falls County Sheriff's Office, the two teens and a female passenger may have been involved in a chase after an altercation which happened earlier in the evening at a party. Deputies say excessive speed and alcohol are believed to be factors.
A semi-truck carrying 3,000 pounds of caustic sodium hydroxide rolled over on Interstate 90 west of Spokane early this morning. Washington State Patrol troopers say only 2 barrels of the sodium hydroxide leaked and the spill was not hazardous. The driver of the semi was initially trapped, but fire department crews were able to cut him out of the cab. An ambulance took the driver to Sacred Heart Medical Center. He is listed in stable condition and the injuries are not life-threatening.
We had a nice day today, but with sunny weather, but will last through the weekend. I'm Stephen Ross, and I'll have your weather for you after the break. We had a nice warm day today with almost no clouds, and it was very sunny and nice, and everyone was just enjoying the weather and just, you know, go out and have a picnic. Tonight should cool off about 46 degrees, 47 with winds at about 5 miles per hour. And then continuing on to tomorrow, we should have more of the same weather, nice and cloudy, or nice and partly cloudy, and with a low of 47, sunrise 6:25, sunset at 7:02, with winds at about 10 miles per hour. All right. And then over here on the east side, we got that warm weather up in Spokane. And then as you can see, Wenatchee and then Yakima right here is also warm. All right, and the weather continues. It's going to be warm through Wednesday, Thursday, and then Friday. And then over the weekend, it's going to start cooling off here. And then we're going to get some showers, maybe stay in, watch some football, enjoy another, Cougar road win, hopefully. All right. And should be another good weekend with some successful football. All right, back to you at the news desk, guys.
Washington State University will have a new College of Sciences dean in January. Dr. Darrell D. DeWald, who received his doctorate from Texas A&M University, will take the position. Provost Warwick Bailey says DeWald is a great fit for the faculty and the staff, as well as the college's programs as it looks towards the future. DeWald has an extensive publication record and has managed over $3 million in research funding. During the last decade, he has been an advisor to more than 10 graduate students and 40 undergrad students.
The Whitman County Historical Society is set to continue renovations on the old Jones Schoolhouse. The schoolhouse was built in 1895 but closed in 1942 with the consolidation of Whitman County schools. According to the Historical Society, the Palouse Empire Fair Foundation collected donations to be used for restoring the school building and reinstalling its original bell. The Historical Society is considering turning the schoolhouse into a museum focused on the history of education in Whitman County.
The city of Moscow is celebrating diversity with multiple events throughout the week. Moscow's Inclusive Community Week will put on the display of put on display the information 25 individuals who live in Moscow that have immigrated from around the world. The Moscow Human Rights Commission sponsored a walk and roll event to help commemorate the 20th anniversary of the Americans with Disabilities Act. There will be a lecture titled Latinization of America that will take place Wednesday in the University of Idaho Student Union Building.
Adult homes are often advertised as a safe alternative to public nursing homes. However, a recent Seattle Times investigation found that deaths indicative of neglect occur at much higher rates in adult homes than in nursing homes. After analyzing the deaths of Washington adult home residents who died between 2003 and 2008, the Times uncovered more than 200 suspicious deaths. The Times says these deaths indicated neglect or abuse in adult homes, but were never reported to the Department of Social and Health Services.
The trial for a Tacoma woman who is challenging the military's Don't Ask, Don't Tell policy started this morning. Former Major Margaret Witt was dismissed from the Air Force 4 years ago after they learned she was lesbian. Witt served for nearly 20 years as a flight nurse and was awarded numerous medals during her service. Witt says she's hoping to get reinstated by the military so she can serve her country and help the injured troops who need her. The trial is expected to last a week.
Seattle fire investigators are trying to figure out what started a fire on a commercial fishing boat. The fire broke out on board the 100-foot Arctic Dawn, a vessel which was featured in the first seasons of Discovery Channel's The Deadliest Catch. One person was on board but was able to evacuate the boat safely. Crews were able to keep the fire from spreading to neighboring boats and no injuries were reported. Fire officials say it doesn't look like any fuel spilled from the boat.
Coming up in sports, the Cougar football team nearly gave us all a heart attack Saturday, while the WSU soccer team dropped a pair of matches this weekend. Those stories and more right after the break.
Well, Braulio mentioned it before the break, and it's true. A new trend is taking place at a California church. Members of the City Church of Anaheim have shown their commitment by getting tattoos of the Red Heart Church logo. City Church started in a living room and moved to Anaheim's Chain Reaction Club as the congregation grew.
A gator was handcuffed by deputies in Florida today. A 7-foot-long alligator was found lounging near an elementary school this morning. While deputies waited for a trapper to arrive, the gator began walking towards children, so they decided to take matters into their own hands. The deputies roped the gator and handcuffed its legs. The Department of Fish and Wildlife took custody of the animal after the incident.
Well, I tell you what, guys, a gator, Braulio, you're a pretty strong guy. Can you see yourself wrestling a gator, putting some cuffs on him?
Absolutely not, unless I wound up in the hospital a couple minutes afterwards.
Sounds painful. Similar to the Washington State football game this week.
You know,
Wow.
Dom, I had a feeling you're going to bring that up. You know, we only won by a point. Montana State, I mean, sure, they're an FCS squad. They're not that bad of a team, though. Veteran players. But, you know, it's going to be interesting what happens with the Cougars this Saturday when they take on SMU.
We're going to win, no doubt, in my mind.
Megan thinks we're going to win. Steven, I know you were at the game. What are your thoughts on this upcoming weekend, the expectations of Cougar football?
Well, we beat them
going ahead?
last time. We beat them last time. I don't see why we can't do it again. You know, just, take 2 picks back to the house in the 4th quarter and we're good.
Fair enough. Well, folks, that's all the news we have for you tonight.
Tune in every weeknight at 7 and 10 o'clock. Have a good night.